That's right, Lauren. I think everyone can agree that kids need to be held responsible, and the man that runs the system says children need to be disciplined, but he says sending them to a detention center isn't always the answer. He says there is accountability in the system, and like adults, children will have their day in court. For weeks now, smashed windows, shattered glass, and headaches for owners. It's the aftermath of what police say are two groups of juveniles with ties to gangs breaking into cars across the triangle.
And the number one thing that we're seeing is that kids are breaking into cars to steal firearms.
William Lassiter oversees the juvenile justice system in the state. He says in the most recent arrest, all 9 of those kids arrested were approved for court, and nearly half of the group went into secure custody.
Putting a kid in detention for 10 days and then sending them back home with mom and dad where you didn't work with them at all is not going to fix the problem.
But the problem of terrorizing communities is getting progressively worse. Data shows in just the last month, 16 juveniles are associated with 264 car break-in complaints filed in Durham and Wake counties. Last year, the total number was 139.
So even if they're not in detention today, they still have a trial date that's coming up, and that judge could order them to go to detention as part of the actual conclusion of that trial.
Lassiter does not believe every child should be locked up.
Let's not throw them away at 12 years old and say they're not fixable or not being able to become good citizens in our societies.
He explains when a police department files a complaint against a juvenile, an assessment tool determines the child's threat level to the community or themselves.
Did they have a prior history? How young are they? What types of crimes did they commit? Are they involved with other like gang activity or things like that?
So the length of time a child is ordered to a detention center depends on the crime and what the judge mandates. Lassiter says it could be a year or longer, but in most cases, it's typically 14 days along with supervised probation. And if you break those rules while you're on probation, you could be back in custody. Lauren?